Good morning, my dear students of class 4. Welcome you to the online sessions of your science classes. So children, here is another session of our science class, right? So in our previous lessons, we did lots of lessons. That is lesson 1, food, which is our basic need, digestions, the role of microbes, clothes we wear, and also we learnt about solid, liquid and gases, right? What are the 3 different states. Now we will see how the soil can help us, how the soil forms, how it is taking many years to form a good soil. Okay, so soil takes thousands of years to form in the formation of soil. So in this lesson you will learn about formation of soil, types of soil, soil profile, soil erosion and soil conservation. So Earth's crust. What is Earth's crust, children? Soil. Soil is Earth's crust. The outmost hard layer of the earth is known as crust. The topmost layer of the surface of earth crust is soil. Earth's crust contains all known life in the universe. Formation of soil. How does it happen? The big pieces of rocks are broken down by wind and water into small pieces till we get fine powder. This process is called weathering. Whenever the fine powder known as sand mixes with the remains of dead plants and animals, it's called as humus. And minerals, soil is formed. Thus, soil is defined as the top layer of the earth's surface, which consists of sand remains of dead plants and animals, and minerals with some amount of water and air in it. Soil is very important for life on earth. Plants mostly grow in soil. This produces food and give out oxygen, which is needed by human and animals to stay alive. Soil is also home to many insects and animals. So what happens in the night times? It is cool, right? So the rocks get the cracks when the rocks are cool. When it rains, the rocks breaks into the pieces. It gets the cracks in it and it breaks into the pieces. And then soil is formed. Let us see how composition of soil is. Soil is made up of different types of soil particles, that is sand, silt and clay, right? So sand, these are the largest soil particles. Silt is smaller than sand particles but bigger than the clay particles. So clay is the smallest soil particles, which is smooth. Other than these, soil also contains small stones, pebbles known as gravels, and also such as iron, calcium and potassium, and also the humus. Soil also contains the amount of air and water in it. So let us look into the types of soil. There are 3 main types of soil, that is sandy soil. The soil has a greater proportion of sand particles. Sandy soils feels rough and gritty. It is non-sticky when it is wet. It does not hold much water and drains all the water from it. Clay soil has a greater proportion of clay particles. Clay soil feels smooth when dry and lumpy and sticky when it is wet. Loamy soil has almost same amount of sand, clay and silt. So loamy is a mixture of all the three soil. Loamy soil is the best soil for growing the plants. It is rich in nutrients and humus and allow water to pass through easily. What is humus, children? The humus is nothing but the dead plants and animals, the remains of dead plants and animals, okay, which contains lots of nutrients. So that is humus. So the soil contains, that is loamy soil, which is best for the plants, contains the humus. So let us look into the soil profile now. Soil profile is, here it is been segregated into three parts, which is A, B and C. A refers to the topmost soil. It is the uppermost soil layer which contains the particle of sand, clay and humus. And also it allows the water and air, which is good for the plants. B, which is the subsoil, it is the middle layer of the soil present below the topsoil, which contains the broken pieces of rocks. And C, which is the lowest part, which is also known as bedrock. It is the bottom layer of soil and is quite deep inside the earth. It has larger pieces of earth's crust. Okay, that is rocks. So let us see what is soil erosion here. Topsoil is very fertile because it is rich in humus. Strong winds and water wash away the loose topsoil. The removal of the fertile topsoil by the action of wind and water is called soil erosion. Strong winds, heavy rainfall and cutting down of trees increases soil erosion. So what is soil erosion, children? The washing away of the topmost soil, okay, by the action of wind and water. This is called as soil erosion. So if we cut down more and more trees and heavy rainfall, floods and strong winds wash away the topsoil, which is very useful to the plants. By this way, soil erosion is formed. So we should look into that. We grow more and more plants in the open area, open land, so that will reduce the affection of soil erosion. So the last part, let us see what is soil conservation here. Soil conservation means protecting. Plants get most of their nutrients from the topsoil. Isn't it, children? Protection of soil from erosion is known as soil conservation. There are certain steps that we can take to conserve the soil. So there are certain steps how we can follow and save the soil. So let us see what are the steps. Step number 1. So more and more trees should be planted to replace the ones that are cut down. So suppose you've been cutting down one plant, so you need to plant more like 10 plants so that we reduce the soil erosion. Trees and bushes should be planted in open lands. This practice does not allow the wind to blow, follow, force and take away the topsoil. So if we plant more and more trees in the open lands, so this protects and not allow the wind to blow and force and take away the topsoil. Flowing water can easily wash away a lot of topsoil. So dams should be built across the rivers. Okay, these are the 3 ways which we can follow and conserve the soil. So here you can see in this picture, roots help to bring the soil together. So if we plant more and more trees, what happens? The roots bind the soil together. So it holds tightly soil. Using too many chemicals harms the soil. So it happens, right? When we are growing more and more trees, we use fertilizers, the chemicals on the plants to protect from the insects. So in this way, when we are using the chemical fertilizers, it harms the soil. It is our duty to protect and preserve soil because really it is very important. As it is, the big pieces of rocks are broken down by wind and water into smaller pieces till we get a fine powder. This process is called weathering. Whenever the fine powder knows a sand mixes with the remains of dead plants and animals called humus and minerals, soil is formed. The soil is defined as the top layer of the earth's surface which consists of sand remains of dead plants and animals and minerals with some amount of water in it. Soil is very important for life on earth. Plants mostly grow in soil. This produces food and gives out oxygen which is needed by humans and animals to stay alive. Soil is also home to many insects and animals. Composition of soil. Soil is made up of different types of soil particles, that is sand, silt and clay. Right children, as explained. So sand is the largest soil particles. Silt is the smaller than sand particles. Clay is the smallest soil particles. Other than these, soil also contains small stones, pebbles, which is known as gravels, minerals such as iron, calcium and potassium, and also humus. Soil also contains some amount of air and water in it. So let us see the types of soil. There are mainly 3 types of soil depending upon the amount of the different soil particles present in it. These are sandy, clayey and loamy. Sandy soil. The soil has a greater proportion of sand particles. Sandy soils feels rough and gritty and is non-sticky when wet. It does not hold much water and drains most of it. So clayey soil is the greater proportion of the clay particles. Clay soil feels smooth when they dry and lumpy when wet. So loamy soil, almost the same amount of sand, clay and salt. Loamy is the best soil for growing plants in it, and it is rich in the nutrients and humus which allows the water and pass through easily. Okay children, so let us look into the soil conservation here. Plants get most of their nutrients from the top soil. Protection of soil from erosion is known as soil conservation. There are certain steps that we can follow and conserve the soil. As it was explained children, we should plant more and more trees, right? If we plant more and more trees in the open land, the trees and the bushes planted will not allow to wind to forcefully take away the topsoil, right? So flowing water can easily wash away the wind. So what we have to do? Build more and more dams. Okay, children. Now let us go on to the exercise. Hope you have understood the exercise. Understood the lesson, the soil, and what are the importance and what are the methods to save the soil, right? So let us see the objective types of question in page number 60 here. The first one, fill in the blanks, you can mark sand. The second one, you can mark clay. Third one is loam. Fourth one is topsoil. Fifth one is conserve. Choose the correct option. The first one, which of these soil contains? So you will mark all of these. Option D. Second one, again option D. Third one, option C. Fourth one is option A. Fifth one is option A. Sixth one is option D, both A and C. Seventh one is option A. Write true or false. You will have to write T for the true statement and F for the false statement. The first one is a false statement. Second is a true statement. Third is a true statement. Fourth is a false statement. Fifth is a true statement. Give one word for the following. So first one is weathering. Second one is soil. Third one is sand. Fourth one is clay. Fifth one is erosion. So let us come down to the recall map here. The soil types of soil, that is sandy, clay and loomy. You will write the three types. Then composition, sand, silt and clay. The layers are topsoil, subsoil and bedrock. Okay. The same one you can write in the soil profile. Topsoil, subsoil and bedrock. Okay children, this is it for the lesson. Hope you enjoyed the session. So soon I am going to have a unit test for you for the lesson 3 and 4. Okay. Please do prepare the lessons. Bye bye for now.